Hello, and welcome to the Legendarium Green Team. I'm Jingalls90, and with me today are Little Red Book,
Hello.
Chesky,
Hey, everybody.
and Texasblade.
Hey,
Today we are discussing Book 4 of the Alex Verus series, Chosen by Benedict Jaka. Y'all, I think this is my favorite one.
You know,
It's
not hard to say, but
interesting.
they just keep getting
Yep,
better. So,
that's exactly what I was gonna
next
say.
we're gonna say the same thing and the same thing again. So,
Yeah, I almost don't even want to do a non-spoiler section. I think we're 4 books into a series. I think we can kind of stop getting into that. Just know that I loved it, and it seems like a universal situation here
Well, I
Yeah.
just
based on those reactions.
yeah.
on a non-spoilery note, I would say that we are not yet to the point like the turning point of the series. I would say.
Okay.
I would say a lot of the elements are already there, and you've missed them all except for one, just because of the way they're written.
Great.
It's not bad. No,
It's not bad. You don't know.
This is a you wouldn't know it until it happens kind of a thing, and then you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, that was totally right there on the mantle, just waiting for me to pick it back up, or like
Sure.
this was over here sitting there waiting. I didn't even think about it, right? Like, but the seeds have been sown. You know one of them for sure. I'm very positive you'll know one of them right away. It's very obvious, and I think the next 2 books is kind of the tipping point, and then it kind of starts going faster and just gets real into it. So,
All right.
but yeah,
Well,
I
that
would
leaves me
I
excited.
I would say there is one thing that I picked up on my first of all, this is a delightful series to reread.
Yeah.
Like the second time is 100% better than the first time, is what I would say. There was one thing I picked up on this read where I was like, oh my God, how did I not pick that up? So
and now is this a thing you can share with Jingles or no?
no.
Okay, then you'll have to DM me later about
you
it.
have this noted so you can mention it later since we're all curious. So maybe take a
No,
note.
I'll DM you
So,
guys.
and
I just won't
okay.
Jingles can't look.
So I don't know, Jingles, send us off. What do you want to talk about first in this book, since we're going no spoilers or light
man.
no spoiler section here?
Yeah, we'll still do our summary because I took the time to write it, so I might as well you say it. But then I do want to get right into the meat of this thing, and I want to talk the Travises. So, picture this. A happy little found family playing Catan on a Saturday night. All of their troubles washed away, a picturesque moment of people who couldn't possibly have anything bad happen in their lives, right? Wrong. It starts small with a teen stalking Alex's apartment. Then it gets bigger. On a night of simple training at a casino, Alex is attacked by a group led by a boy named Will. He almost dies too, except Luna comes in to save the day. You see, Will is the baby brother of a woman from Alex's past named Catherine Travis, a woman who he helped capture, who was brutally tortured, and despite Alex's efforts, is now dead due to her link in a spell performed by Richard Drack to leave this reality for another. Will is determined to kill Alex for his role in his sister's death. His team, the Night Stalkers, is a group of adepts with very complementary power sets with the goal of fighting the powers that oppress them. A team that you would want to root for, except Will has his sights on Alex, and we know this man has paid many times over for his evils, so the team just feels like a petty nuisance. Ah, the irony. The continued game of cat and mouse will come to involve a light council mage named Caldera, who is very curious about Richard Drock and Delio. We learn from Shireen and Rachel's memories Delio's secret origin. We also learn that eventually you can push Alex Verus over the edge, and that he will do whatever it takes to be left alone. A final slaughter of the Night Stalkers at the hands of Delio and Cinder, and Will killed by Alex, forces Anne to walk away from their found family. We are left in a much darker place than when we started, so what more could possibly go wrong? 2 words. Daddy's home.
Oh, I love that. Now, okay, you brought it up at the very end of your summary here, but wasn't that ending just crazy?
It was
Where
wild.
Delio's sitting in the fortress, kind of cleaning up a little bit and just taking care of stuff. The waygate opens up, starts activating, and Richard Drock walks back in. He's like, "I'm home." Like, "Hey, Delio, like, let's get started." And you're just like,
We have
"Oh,
business
Jill's
to attend
like,
to.
yeah."
What?
That was
So what have you
that
been
was a good
doing this whole
ending.
time, man?
He's been through a portal.
Yeah, that's what we
Just
know.
saying. He went through a portal.
Yep. You did.
But we hear nothing about what happened. So
I mean, in
Not
fairness,
yet.
he just walked back. So
Yeah. So
except so we don't
we hear
hear
nothing. We don't hear
don't-
anything about what happened. All we know is he left and he's back.
and that part doesn't get better. It's really
No.
annoying. I'm sorry.
Spoilers.
That is a
Hey.
spoiler for you, Jingles. I'm sorry.
let's let Jingles experience the books as it was meant to be experienced by being read, not by being told to him.
It's a very small thing, but it's a very annoying thing that
Yeah.
is so frustrating.
I could see that frustration. I mean, I got to imagine there's going to be some huge payoff on what he's doing. I have my theories. I will share them. I do believe that Richard is looking for an item that does not exist on his plane anymore. And that might have been why he was gone, because he was looking for a tool to use on his reality. Or he was just looking to conquer another reality to see if he could do it. And he was coming back.
Practice world he can conquer.
I like that theory.
All right. So
I have this place. Let's go back
Yeah.
home and do the same thing.
I would say that this book is a little bit more meaty of a book in regards to like ethics and like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
the first books, I'm not saying they shied away from it or like Alex is always in the right and him murdering people at those times was good. I mean, it's always justified, right? It's always like a justified self-defense, but this one really like hits it home and is like, we're gonna deal with this issue right here, right now. How do you feel about killing somebody? That's hard.
How do you feel about killing somebody when you have taken so many different paths to try to avoid it? And it's truly just the only presented path to you at some point, or at least perceived that way. Because this whole book is about, okay, we can try it this way. No, that's not working at all. Okay, we can try it this way. Nope, that's not going to work for whatever reason. I'll just put my cloak on so they can't track me. Oh, the cloak's going to consume me if I keep it on for too long. Well, that's freaking
It's
great.
keeping you
It's gonna be-
safe.
yeah.
Very
He's
safe.
just really, really safe. Okay.
Yes, the
So
safest.
safe he can't even
Safe
find himself hurt
forever
himself.
and ever.
The fact that he has to spend like a whole day recovering after he takes off the cloak. I mean, but we also have the part where he gets stabbed through the stomach at the casino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Good thing we have a healer on hand.
That's at the casino before they go to the casino, and he's like, okay, Luna, what did you bring? And she like lists off like 5 things.
Yeah.
And then she's like, yeah, but I learned this from you. And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, I only have a few essentials, 3 gate stones, 2 condensers, a ring, this other thing I have. Oh, I got this go bag over here to the side. I've got knives. I just have the picture of the typical rogue like shucking knives out of their sleeves and pants.
Yeah.
The pile's bigger than they are when they're all done with it. It's just like,
Awful.
yes,
Yeah.
that is you guys for sure.
Jingles, I kind of want to derail this for a little bit because you wanted to talk about the meaty ethical stuff.
Derail,
I do-
huh? That's
I
fitting.
do want to talk about the really funny stuff that goes
Yeah.
on.
Oh yeah, we will.
It's
We
all
definitely
funny
will.
and meaty though. Like,
Yeah. I think it is the first of the 4 books that makes me really feel like Alex is really being faced with a true kind of moral
Dilemma?
dilemma.
did you wanna
Yeah.
call it
Like
Sophie's choice.
almost.
Not,
like I
not
kinda
quite
would.
that bad.
Yeah. The idea of having to kill the brother of the guy or of the woman that you
Help.
realized you messed up with and then failed to save is so rough. It's so rough.
Yeah, in some ways, he's like, well, shoot, I would be wanting to take this revenge. I would be on, like he says, I would be on his side if he just came to me and asked me for help. I'd be on his side.
Yeah.
But he's fixated on killing me instead of making, it's like, and you could argue, he's like, there is like, some, what is justice here? Because.
Well, he's focused. Will is focused way too much on vengeance and revenge
Yes,
instead
sure.
of justice. You mean
Yeah,
the-
That's exactly the case. Yes.
he's let his so there's a conversation about forgiveness or whatnot. He's let his hatred and anger, which is it's justified to be angry. He's let it
Mm.
consume his life.
Yeah.
And also just in general, the adepts have a reason to be pissed.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's saying they shouldn't be mad or wanting to fix it.
No,
just-
that's not what I was saying either.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I know. So I'm going to play a little mini devil's advocate here. Now, Alex, as a psychic, he could have just with Lee, he
Not
couldn't, right?
psychic
But
per se.
he takes out Lee or diviner, excuse me.
He
not
does
psychic,
everything
but
he can.
if he takes out Lee, he could have just left.
Yeah.
You know, he could have
I mean,
left
that's kind
England.
of
He
the
could have
very
gone
end.
somewhere
One thing he
else.
mentions,
Well,
kind
but
almost.
he could have done
Mhm.
that sooner. I mean, he could have not been in London to begin with. Like, is this kind of Alex's fault for involving himself in things, though?
Yeah, it doesn't narrow in that Lee's the guy until
Yeah, I'm just saying that
until he's in that thing. But
without
yeah.
Lee being able to always find him, you know, Alex would probably stay in the same spot. Like if they just been using a magical tracer somehow, you know, would Alex have actually left, or would he have still stuck around and still been pushed to the same location? I don't think Alex would have left London. I don't think he would have left Arachne or Luna. I think he would have ended up fighting and staying his ground, period, because
Yeah.
he's not in the wrong in this situation. We know that he's trying to atone and trying to be better, but at the same time, you know, minus Lee, who can track him, he could have left and gone anywhere and done anything else. Money's not an issue for him. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm not trying to blame him. I'm just trying to play a little bit of a devil's advocate here. Like,
You're saying he
Are
could have
you-
gone into like deep hiding.
he could have followed the path of all
Without-
the other diviners in the first book, deep hiding, gone hide,
Yeah.
you know. And what do you guys think about that? Should he have done that? I mean, we know he's not at true fault here, or like that he tried to fix it but couldn't. What do you
He
think?
can't exactly gate. He can only gate to places he has a gate stone, and that's like the only way to get somewhere quickly.
Yeah,
So you'd
but
have to have
he
someone
has-
like gate him on the other side of the world.
No, he has that place in Wales, which would have disconnected him enough.
Yeah,
So
and
what
then he
are
could have
you?
gone
I
a
don't
So
think
flame
what
so.
are
from
you
there,
saying?
but like,
Are you arguing that it would have been better if he just killed Lee and didn't kill all the other people?
or just take Lee out of the situation in this book and just say like, if there had been no Lee and they just had like a magical tracer gun they shot him with every so often to keep tracking him that way, would he have left on his own, or do you think like just
Okay,
pretend like
but
Lee wasn't
Lee's
in the
there.
book, period?
Oh, okay. Well, that's a different story.
Mm.
I know that's what I'm saying because Lee's
well,
ability to track him. is a
Let's
little
pretend Will was on it.
overpowered.
It was reasonable
I'm
then.
just-
And,
I'm
it's
just
all gone
saying
now. We
that
don't
I
have the problem.
I don't think Alex is quite as blameless as we all want him to feel and be, because he's very experienced and he has a lot more options beforehand or without Lee. Without Lee, the things change a lot. His options.
Yeah.
And because of Lee, they
Yeah, but there
don't,
is a
and
Lee.
I know.
There's,
I-
and there's like
I think
what you're
Jingles
saying, he
understands
needs
what
to
I'm
like
trying to
completely undo his life.
But if
Yeah,
you
I
don't
s-
want
I
to
see
kill
what-
people, that's
Yeah.
worth it. If you really, really don't want to kill
But let's
somebody
also look.
who's trying to kill you, then uprooting
Will-
your life is not an issue. Annie does
Will
it.
was in America though.
Like-
Will has crossed an ocean once already to find Alex. He's gonna do it again. So now Alex, let's say Alex jumps over and goes to America, and
Well, we'll
20
get
years
there.
down the road, Will's now learned sniper rifle, and then
Learn
learned the
Sniper
sniper rifle,
All right, we can
gone
drop
back
it.
to
I'm just-
America.
Okay.
I'm just
and-
saying, in a devil's advocate kind of a way, he could have kept running. He could have uprooted his life. He could have made other choices, but he did choose to go on the offensive. And you could argue the best offense or defense is a good offense here. I'm not opposed to this. I
Yeah.
approve of
Fourth
his decision.
time that he gave them 3
Yeah.
strikes. The fourth was their out.
I see where Chesky's coming from though, because I do find like the Night Stalkers were not hardlined into this world that Will wanted them to be in, right? I mean, we saw plenty of opportunities where they did have their doubts about what they were doing. And there is the
Some of
option
them.
of
Some of
trying to
them
play
were
that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know-
like I think Soldier Boy and Lee and I think those were two probably the strongest prospects of trying to switch a little bit. Bev, not so much, and Jaime definitely.
Hi.
Yeah.
I was in my notes. I have this section of our discussion labeled Lee's fault, Will's fault, or Alex's fault. Let's play the
Yeah.
Light
blame
Coun-
game.
No,
Let's play the blame
no,
game.
no. Light Council's fault. Okay.
Well,
They
yeah,
should have
that's
stepped
That's
their
also a good point.
crap up.
Yeah, very true. If
This is-
the keepers have the ability to just.
Yep.
But we know exactly why they didn't get involved.
Yeah.
So-
well, you know
well,
what?
we
The
know
Light
why they
Council's
didn't get
full of
involved.
crap.
They didn't get involved because it's not worth their time because they don't care about that.
No.
And they
Because
don't care about
remember,
X
someone
Darkly.
told Will and them about Alex.
Right, because the light mage doesn't care about
But
anybody who's not light.
No, no, no.
Anybody who's
Who do you think?
independent or dark.
This is
Oh well,
this
he
is
spills it out
there's
right in the book who sent him to him.
yeah.
Well, but
And that
Caldera
person
even
can
says that she should be intervening, and she's like, "Well, I can't." And he's like, "Why not?" He goes,
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
"I know why not."
Caldera gets completely pulled back.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she's like, "We know why not. I know why not. It's because I am not part of the council, and you don't give a crap. And furthermore, the White Council should be caring about all these adepts and all of these acolytes or whatever. I can't think of the word right now that are being abused by their. It's just
Yeah. The real cool
they're
thing is
they're
like how many
terrible.
problems could be solved if the light mages just cared a little bit about others.
Right.
You don't want dark mages? Recruit those dark mages out from under them. Get rid of
Yeah.
that stigma.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you out of a dark mage. You're never going back if you don't want to. You know what I mean? That's like you've got a life mage support, a light council supporter for life if you can get that. But like, no, it's just we're gonna
No.
ostracize you. You've been tainted if you touch the dark. Tainted, period. And there's no cleansing that.
And they
It's
even
just
talk about
yeah.
how they have all these like like burgeoning mages running around trying to find training, and they can't in the Light
Mhm.
Council. So they go to where they're gonna go. Come on, Light Council, step up your game.
So
This is what you get for having a very powerful government.
It just
Now-
makes me so angry. I'm sorry. This is the thing that makes me the most angry about this series. Is the
I
Light
know, and
Council just freaking
angry in a good
falls
way
down on
because
my
you're not mad at the series, you're mad at the characters in the series.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And
uh,
how
Fair enough, fair
accurate it is to real life.
yes. Jingles, did you believe that the sister was alive or could have been alive at any
I-
point? Or were you like,
Not
she's just
really.
gone?
I didn't see how she could be alive after the description. I really liked the hope, but where are they keeping her? Delio doesn't seem like the hostage keeping type, oddly.
What
But
gave it
Not
away?
Ah.
and I've just kind of Torbrook is just a scary, scary person.
Man, Tobruk,
Glad
what
we
a
went
jerk.
Tobruk,
right?
yeah.
Tobruk, yeah.
Sorry.
Tobruk, yeah. What a jerk.
He's so awful.
What a jerk is
That's
putting
like
it
the least
mildly.
nice thing you
Yeah.
can say. Like least mean thing you can say about him. I mean, just the descriptions of him torturing. I mean, it doesn't go into detail, but you know what's happening.
Oh yeah.
Catherine, like, and
That's
that's
plenty,
just like,
just enough detail. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
and what he
absolutely
does to
horrific.
Alex too, because he's definitely torturing Alex too.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
he's like, not exactly because that wasn't his bent, but
Yeah.
right, but yeah, mm-mm.
It's still
No
just
thanks.
yeah. I'm glad
Glad
Alex
he's
killed that
dead.
guy. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, no more problems there.
I don't even really. So I am gonna push back and say I don't have any moral problems with Alex killing these kids. I'm sorry, I just don't.
He gave them plenty of reasons, and and yeah, it was. I mean, I'd maybe feel a little
Sad.
bit for Will if the fact that he was doing all sorts of collateral damage, didn't really care, wasn't listening to anyone, because it's like it's one thing if he's because like I could see another series where it's like he doesn't know that Alex is an okay person now.
No, he
But then he
doesn't.
also didn't try. He didn't try to learn, which is the big issue.
I mean, his isolation consumed him fully and completely, right? Like it
Yeah.
led to his destruction.
I was gonna say I don't feel so bad about Alex killing them. Obviously, if you're going for someone's life, then you should be prepared to lose your own life in return. Like that's kind of just like the way it is. I do feel
Yeah.
bad for all of the kids besides Will. Most of them were trying to do the right thing. Most of them wanted to disengage. Most of them, yeah, obviously not Haha and Bev as much, but like the rest of them really were trying to be a good vigilante. Go after the
Yeah.
bad guys, save the people who need saving. They beat up a dark mage. They did not like investigate and see whether they were doing the right thing, but they were too caught up in it and too persuaded by
Well, I think
Will.
like the first Dark Mage that caught him red-handed effectively and like saved some people, but then they're like, oh, I know this other guy's a Dark Mage, and I don't care what anyone else says, and don't care what has happened since,
Yeah.
and we'll go after him now too.
I mean,
So-
they very much thought they were following an ideal, but they did not realize that they were being pulled into a vendetta, a personal vendetta.
Well, what I would say is that I'm not sad that Alex killed these kids. I am sad for even Will because he let himself be so consumed in what the horrible things that happened to him.
Mm.
So I have compassion for him. He still had to die. I
Yeah.
don't know if that makes
Mm.
sense.
Yeah.
I can see every step that led Alex to this and Will to this. I
Mhm.
still want to be Anne though. I still want to think there might have been an alternative, right?
Well,
Um,
then you
yeah.
have. I mean, we're jumping to the end here, but it's like, yeah, she's like wants to be all, like, yeah, you could have found something way. And then Alex makes a super good point there. He's like, what about the guys I killed to save you? You're not sad about that. So it's okay for me to kill when I'm saving you. In fact, that's what Anne says she likes about him is like he's strong for her when and in the last book she's like, I feel like I always have to be strong for everyone, but here you've been strong for me. This is I appreciate this. And then now he needs someone to be strong for him, and
Yeah.
she's
I
like,
actually
oh
have that in my
no,
notes.
you should have been even stronger.
I actually
I
have that
wanted
in
you
my
to be.
notes.
And it's like,
Annie.
well,
You don't have the right to defend yourself, but it's very great that you defended me.
Well,
It
I
infuriates.
want to put one thing out there, and it's going to be really frustrating to Jingles, but the other two of you it will make sense. Anne has her reasons for her
Yes,
stance.
she
And
does.
they're very
But
justified and somewhat reasonable reasons once we learn what's going on. Now, do I still think she shouldn't have left and she should have tried to work it out with Alex a little bit more? Does she need to work through these kind of an issues? Yes. But for those of you in the know, you know. And those of you not, Jingles, and everybody else who's on book 4, you don't. So you're going to have to wait and see. But
you know who
I
else
agree
takes
that
this
she needs
attitude
to
though?
work on this, but like with what I know, I'm just saying this is what had to happen.
You know who else does this too? Is Saunders.
Mhm.
There is actually a really good short story. I think it's after book 6 though. It's
Damn.
like it's super short story though, but it's a Sonder point of view kind of a thing. It's actually
Okay.
really good.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that because he leaves way early. He doesn't even wait for all this.
they
He just
have
hears
an
that Alex
interesting
did bad stuff.
conversation though when they're scoping out the mansion. It's like a cultural thing. It's like you've grown up in this one culture, and you're not trying to think about other people's culture. And I think is there even something about cultural compatibility kind of thing? It's like
Yeah, he's like, well, you say register it with the council. A dark mage sees that as a fault. A dark mage would not do that because
Mhm.
it's saying, I'm not weak enough to keep my own territory. Here, have it for me. A dark mage says, you don't like why. That's why there's no warnings. If a dark mage lays claim to it, the only way to disabuse that claim is to go in and be stronger or die, or retreat, tactically. They don't have this niceties because all they care about is power and winning. And if you are not confident in winning, you don't go to their house and try and mess with them, right? That's just how it is. There's no shadow politics basically in the dark mages. Is they're all up front politics, right? I'm
Or the
stronger than
shadows
you,
are in
therefore you
different
listen to
places.
me. Yeah.
yeah.
Because
And for
you be
anyone
trapped instead
who's
of whatever.
listening but hasn't read the books recently, this is a conversation where they're visiting. Caldera has taken them to Drock's place, and they find out that Delio has been being a mousetrap, I guess, or letting
Murders everybody who goes in, yeah.
murdering everyone who breaks into the place.
There's no nice way
And
around it. That's
then Caldera comes in and is like, oh, the old dark burglar, or what does she call it? Dark home defense, classic dark home defense, or something like that. And so
I mean,
yeah.
Rachel's super murdery.
Super murdery.
super murdery. Okay, I wanted to say one thing really quick. Caldera, as much as I love her, she does not change enough in this series, and sometimes I
interesting.
just want to.
I mean,
throw her
she's
against-
old. She's an older
doesn't
person.
matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Sometimes I just want to throw her against a wall repeatedly Especially when the diviner who can see the future is like, hey, let's get out of here. Some people are here to kill me. And she's like, nah, let's just sit here and wait. Like, I don't care if they're here to kill you. I'm in the middle of an investigation. And
Yeah.
it's like, how about
I
you just
really need
listen
to-
to the diviner when he tells you
That
something?
you hired to divine things.
He
Yeah.
does call her out on it later. And he's like, I'm not an
Yeah.
information booth for you to push in and get an answer back.
Yeah.
You have to, like, listen.
When you're
Yeah, I
such
need
a
to-
stalwart, like just you truly cannot be moved. Your power is to not be moved. I can kind of see where
Yeah.
you get a little stubborn.
Isn't she an
right?
earth mage?
Yeah, she is. And
Yeah.
I need to
Yeah.
look at the discussion you said that is on the website about how the powers work and stuff, because I guess it's a personality type, effectively, that makes your power.
It
No,
can be, yeah.
well, yeah,
Yeah, it's just the
Um,
Encyclopedia Arcana. So,
I'll have to
But,
look that up sometime.
yeah, no.
I
Yeah,
want to
they're,
talk a little bit about her conversation with Arachne, or his
yeah.
conversation. She says they have this whole he's very, I mean, I would be conflicted even if I felt like it was in self-defense if I killed somebody, and so does Alex, and that makes sense. And she basically says, well, I'd rather you be here than not, and you tried peaceful solutions, and the fact that you're worried about becoming Richard
Mhm.
is a good sign.
Yeah.
And I just love that scene between them, because she's just like, look, I'm old. I've got a lot of experience with the world, and you're just doing the best you can.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Gonna.
can we talk about the funny stuff now? Because we've been
No,
talking
one more
about
thing
it.
that's really sad.
Yeah.
Rachel and Shireen.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was
Oof.
so tough, right?
Mm.
Like,
Cognitive shadow serene.
it's
Yep.
harvesting your best friend and then having your best friend that you murdered in your head the whole time. And
Richard really does his little mind
I was gonna say,
thing
yeah,
on
hats off
her.
in the golf clap to Richard for that manipulation speech right there. Like, that was some master level manipulation to get her to go through with that and really cement her there. But like, yeah,
I
you'll
think
always be
Alex
second
mentions that's
fiddle,
why
and
he's so dangerous, is because he just has the ability to make you want to do something and they think it was your idea. And
there's some truth to, like all manipulators, there's some truth to what he's saying. He's saying she's never going to look at you at the same way again. You're always going to be second fiddle. You'll be right back in the same position. Do you really think she can forgive you? All of those things, they're kind of true.
yeah, the more truth a lie has, the stronger it is. And it just takes a little bit of a lie to make the truth brittle and fall apart on you, or a little crack in your foundation, and everything can come down. So got to be careful about those.
I was going to say, how did you feel about that, Jingles?
I have very mixed feelings about Rachel after seeing all of this. Not just because of like her
Craziness.
choosing to feast on her, yeah, her craziness, but just I don't understand what her goal ever really was, and these were her memories.
I think you get a little bit of a taste of it when she's talking about being in her like before the scene before they go to Richard. She's like, "Why do I want to leave this school? Everyone's like treating me like as I'm at the top." So she
Yeah.
just wants to be at the top.
Yeah, and I guess that's where I'm getting at where my problem kind of lies is Rachel questionable if she was ever really
I think she just got
good person corrupted, I guess is where I'm kind of circling around.
I think she was a selfish person.
I think she's always been a little
She had the power, and
Yeah.
once you have the power to meet, and you don't need to hide your selfishness and your thing anymore, then it's just like I think I said the other time, it's not so much power corrupts as power gives you no reason to hide your corruption.
Yeah. I think she started out selfish, of course, and then she wanted that power for
Like
power.
all kids.
But
just
as
saying.
you see in the viewpoints, it's fine, right? That's true. Like, as you see in the viewpoints, though, she is afraid of Tobruk. She wants this power. She wants to be the chosen so she can be safe, right? Now she's a small fish in a big pond. I don't think she likes it, but she's stuck. And I think she doesn't see a way out. And so the only way to stay ahead is to just keep going. And that's all it is, I think. It's just that she can't see her way out of it, so she's just going to keep going. keep doing the bad things because that's what's comfortable. That's what's kept her safe, right? And now she has Cinder with her, and that's, I mean, talking about ethics of Cinder, who's for the most part like not actually that bad of a guy. Like
Yeah.
he is, but he's not at the same time, right? Like
He's slightly less murdery.
Yeah.
he never goes after Alex on his own. It's
Yeah.
always with Cinder, like, or with Delio. He's even
Or
like, oh,
not
I guess
since the
I
first
shouldn't have
book, at
meant.
least.
Yeah, Cinder's like, hey, she's not gonna talk anymore. She's got some stuff she's dealing with in the background after she tries to murder him, and Alex is like, yeah, that's okay, cool, like, peace out. And Cinder's not like, I'm gonna murder you, you know what I mean? Like, or like, I'm gonna kidnap you because I want to divine her. He's as a funny part, he's like, Alex, at the very end, he's like, Alex, do we have to fight? Because fighting you is a pain in the balls. It's just like, and it's just like, no, we don't have to fight, Cinder.
Right.
Thank you for acknowledging that you would win, but it would suck.
Well, also, we had that discussion where he says to Alex that he's a predator. I think it's in the second book.
Hmm.
This proves that Alex is a predator. This whole book.
No.
Yeah, I would say so.
A predator would have killed immediately and not given third and fourth chance.
Can we talk about the funny stuff now? 'Cause
Yes.
We can, and I'm gonna segue it from the conversation with between Cinder and Alex after Delio leaves, because that reminded me. I was laughing because it reminded me of I don't know. You see like those memes online where it's like a dad like sitting between a yelling mom and a kid that's in trouble, and he like, yeah, don't worry, we'll try to bring this down a little bit. Like, I'm cool, Dad. We're gonna fix this problem, but we got to do it, a little bit mellow.
She's got some stuff she's dealing with.
Yeah. Just like, oh, this is a weird dynamic. I don't understand why Cinder felt he needed to come back at all, but okay, sure.
I'll hit you guys up with I think one of my funniest scenes in this book is when Yaya or Jaja is
Jar Jar.
Jar Jar, yeah.
Really?
When
But that's
Jar
what
Jar is
the
trying
audiobook
to,
calls him.
he's trying to life drain Annie, and it doesn't work because Annie's a superior life mage. And Alex is like, hey, do you need to rest a few minutes and try again? I bet this doesn't happen to you with most girls. Like, and he just keeps cracking the ED jokes on him. Gets more and more frustrated. And I was just like, yeah, you go, Alex. You might not be able to take him in a fight, but you can sure cripple him emotionally.
Yeah, right.
Well, in fairness
Oh.
to Jar Jar Binks, he is an adept, so he can only drain life, whereas Anne can do it both ways.
Well,
Okay, that
no,
sounded weird
yeah,
too.
I know. I'm just saying, like, Annie's the better
Or
mage, and so that's why it doesn't
manipulate
do
that very
anything. And he's
energy.
just
So
like,
presumably
this
she's just
usually
like short
works.
circuiting it. I guess.
It's so funny. All right, Alex, or Red or Texas, hit us with your favorite scene here. What was so funny?
The dude with the fish. I mean,
Well, I mean,
Those customers
more-
are so funny.
all the customer stuff is funny.
the real funny thing with the fish is Luna
Oh, Luna.
with the and I was like, oh yeah, there's a fish right here. What are you gonna do with it? And then she's like, oh, there's like 12 more fish. And he's like,
You're
what?
right,
I was like,
girl.
no, joking.
And like that's like her coping mechanism of having to take orders is that she makes a joke
Yeah.
about it. And I love that. Luna is so great, guys. I just love Luna.
Well, and we learn.
She's
speaking
awesome.
of Luna, we learned that she's like really getting into the dueling and everything like that.
Her
And,
badass at the casino whipping the fire
Yeah.
away. I love it.
Well, Luna's like shaping up to be exactly what Alex was hoping, right? Which she's adjusting. She's actually being better because someone's taking time to focus on her, which is, it's awesome.
It's the magic of friendship going on.
Yeah,
in her
right?
life. Like she actually has communication and socials with people and stuff. Yeah.
And I love that Varium's the same way. They're both just like, this guy clearly has my best interest in mind, and he's trying. So,
Well, the
unlike
conversation,
Saunders.
the conversation that Varium, whatever his name is, has with Alex when he's like, "I'm gonna back you up." I just love that scene where he's like, "Look, I'm gonna stay out here with my portal. You go in and do your thing, and I'll be here for you, man." And
Yeah.
he's he's like the opposite of Anne. He's like, you're gonna have to kill these dudes, and he's saying that like from the very beginning. You're gonna have to kill these dudes. And then he goes off to be a keeper or whatever they're called. So.
Yeah.
Keeper.
So Texas, you didn't show your funny scene.
I think that funny scene was, I mentioned the fish.
The fish.
In fact, I was
Okay.
looking at my notes. I'm like, 12 fish. What was that again? It took me a while to remember. Oh, right.
As funny as this book was, the heavy stuff just kind of outweighed it in this one.
I mean,
Not as
that's
much
like
fun
one of
as
the few
compared to
funny
this, but-
scenes, almost, I want to say. I can't think of too many other funny scenes besides, like, Cinder, saying that one thing. Let me check my notes.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I mean, I guess there's, I was like, Alex has to kind of be like the magic Batman, and he has like that glitter dust. It's like, oh yeah, no one ever thinks that's dangerous. It's just a little spark of glitter, but it gets everywhere and stays everywhere, even worse.
Especially in your eyes. Yeah.
Oh man.
And then they come in, and like the next time they fight him, they have goggles.
That
So they're also
train
learning.
scene that
That was
The
a good
train
train
scene's so
scene.
was
good.
so good. When
And
he
it's like,
dropped.
there's not many people I would trust to drop me onto a moving train. You're one of them. Like,
You know who I miss? I miss his little
his Starbreeze.
Yeah, Starbreeze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's been absent, and I have noticed.
She did throw away the controller, though, just so we all
Yeah.
remember that it was a purposeful separation this time around.
To save her because she was going to be enslaved. And yeah.
I just love her. She's one of the funniest characters in the whole series. She's like, oh, what are we doing now? Oh, look at this thing. Let's watch the fight.
Hold on, we'll leave eventually. Just give me a second. I want to see this.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm kind of gonna die.
Let's get going.
Anyway.
I guess another interesting with Caldera, we might be able to say more about her. There's like the Nocturne when he's telling her about the Nocturne. She's like, well, could we beat it? And he's like, oh right, you're an elemental mage. You don't think about how can I get away from something. You're like, well, let's just take
go
it
blow
on,
it
get
up.
rid of it. Boom,
Yeah.
get rid of it.
It is good to see the little bit of a different mindset of a mage because we're usually seeing, Alex, Luna, and Sonder, and they are three that you want on your team in a fight, but they're not taking any hits for you or dealing out massive amounts of damage at one time. They're all, damage over time or like sneak attacks. So
yeah, and we have Sonder doing his stasis field. We'll get a little bit of cool. I guess that's one thing. Now we've seen a little bit more different magic stuffs. Which is your like favorite magic spells or something like that? Or if you could be an adept, what power what one spell would you want?
Oh, that's tough. I'm gonna go with. Well, okay. I would kind of want Alex's power.
But he's
I mean,
a
just
mage.
specific-
You have to
He's
be
a
Yeah,
mage though.
I
so he's
can't do
got a
that
few
one.
different things.
But some
You could take,
piece of his power,
you
like
could take,
just
like,
the
one aspect of it. Yeah.
yeah, what the aspect
would
of it.
be-
I would want the like predictability. I'd want to be able to follow.
Like his danger sense.
Yeah, like his
I guess
danger
you could
sense.
probably get danger sense. Yeah, you just be like, something's gonna happen wrong, but you wouldn't be able to see it. I imagine. I mean,
Yeah,
I guess if we're
In
making
case, Blade, you're wrong. He's not Batman. He's Spider-Man.
he is Spider-Man.
well, but he doesn't have any strength. Spider-Man has strength and can take
That's
the
true.
hits. Where
But he has a spider
he's
friend, so I mean,
yeah.
I would pick Captain America's power, portable space.
I was thinking
who
about
doesn't
that.
want
Yeah,
a,
Pretty
that
handy.
it's
portable
that one.
container
Haste
all
is
the
kind of
time.
cool too, just being able to run fairly fast. But yeah, the portal thing or gate magic. You had the gate adept. That would be pretty sweet.
That's the
Yeah.
one I'd want is gate magic.
Yeah,
Because
we have
you
Game
know
magic
what?
would be very handy.
I mean, you could just
Traffic
watch the
sucks.
movie Jumper and just like take that power because like that's all gate magic is.
That's fine.
That's
fine.
true though. I mean,
Yeah,
if you can get really good at that, yeah, and going to work every day, you don't have to worry about traffic. You can wake up and walk right out of your bed into.
Into
I
your
could
office,
just
like
and
right to
Pop
your
into
office.
Chesky's house and just be like, hey, I want to smell the baby. Because
Yeah.
for like 5 minutes.
Because
You
that's
I'm
have
not
gonna go
creepy
home.
at
to know
all.
the
Smelling
No,
a
area.
baby.
babies smell have a very specific smell that is
It's funny.
amazing.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
new person smell, and I love it for 5 minutes,
New
and then I'm
person
done.
smell. Jingles, do you have? I guess I don't know. I don't have anything else left to bring up. I kind of brought up all my heavy stuff and funny stuff, but what do you have? What do you have for predictions for us, Jingles?
Mm,
What's going next?
okay. Some observations before we get into predictions. I I want to understand what the creatures in the Dreamland are, because the only manifested thing we have ever seen is a curse, and then something did get into Delio at the same time that she harvested, and that's suspicious. Um,
You never see it again.
It's
Never
just
see it
a
again.
little suspicious. I'm sure it's nothing to do with anything.
so, well,
Wait,
that's
wait,
what.
wait. So back to Dreamland.
Mm,
This is something I want to say. Did you notice how Dreamland has changed now that he has
I
friends?
did. I actually thank you for reminding me. I did love like he goes into the dream feeling happy because he's around all of his friends and it just seems more alive. That was really a nice touch on Jacka's part. I enjoyed that.
Interesting. I don't think I noticed that.
Yeah. Or at least that's
That
what
is
it
part
felt.
of the thing that has to do with something I'm going to DM you guys later.
Yeah, elsewhere feels a lot safer.
Yes.
Heavy quotes.
Well,
When
he
he's
feels
with
a lot
friends.
safer, and he's hearing birds chitter, which he's never heard before, and like
And there's
just all these-
plants,
yeah,
and there's animals.
and he goes to just sit on a bench because he can do that. Yeah, no, it's very peaceful, and the transition was really well written. I think it's a chapter break, but still,
Yeah.
it was good. But yeah, so I imagine that curses have something to do, are a little more cognitive or a little bit more intelligent than maybe like imbued things. And magic in general. I don't know if I'm really articulating what I mean, but I think that was a thing that did not come up unintentionally. Prediction wise, I got to imagine. I think we won't actually see that much of Richard next book. And the only reason I say that is because I think it's too quick. I mean, this is meta knowledge. We have too many books left, and I think Richard plays a far stronger villain than just the mid-season, right? So if we do see him, it's not going to be for anything huge. Hidden though.
Yeah, that's the next book is Hidden.
Yeah. Oh, what's that about?
I will read you
And
the thing. Alex Verus is a diviner who can see probable futures, a talent that's gotten him and his friends out of many a tough scrape. But what happens when someone doesn't want Alex's help? Alex's friend, the
okay.
life mage Annie, has distanced herself from him when she found out about his past as a dark apprentice. Now she's in serious trouble, but wants nothing to do with him. Alex has to start wondering if Anne's problem is really with him, or if there's a secret she's trying to hide. On top of that, rumors are swirling around London that Alex's former master may be back in town. Alex has no agenda, what his agenda may be or who it involves.
Dang. Okay. Yeah, I stick with my Richard thing. Who's after Anne? I'm happy to see why she is the way she is. And if that's what this book explores, then all the better.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
can't remember actually.
Yeah.
To be honest.
It does, I'm pretty sure, delve into that a little bit. And again, I just want to harp, the foreshadowing and the writing of this book is excellent. If you're this far in and you can't see that, something is wrong. The writing is excellent part, I mean. The foreshadowing is tough to see
You
beforehand.
can't understand the book that you haven't read
But
yet.
I can tell you for sure that you have seen at least 1, 2 big elements of like what's going on and what kind of like what a bigger villain is going to be.
Okay.
Well, and another thing that you'll see later. So I think there's at least 3 things that have been very well
You're
kind of
such a tease.
foreshadow. Well, I want to get
This
him
is good.
excited.
Yeah.
And I want to get others excited to read the books.
And I did
That's
last
what this is
episode ask
for.
him to
This is
do
like
this.
the-
So yeah.
This is the secret teaser to be like, look, these are the things that we've seen that are like, they're hinting at strong things that you are going to be so freaked out about when you finally see them. And then you'll be like, what could Ceskyure been talking about? You're like, oh my gosh, it was all the way back here in book. Wah. And you'll be like, it was right there in front of my face the whole time. And you'll be like, I'll be like, yeah,
So
it was. That's so cool that he did it that good. Because like, it doesn't happen that often.
there is a minor tease that I'm going to give then, since we're being teases.
Yeah.
There
Be a
is
tease.
something you see in the dream world that I want to say 3 or 4 books from the end, you're going to be like, oh my God.
Interesting. Okay.
But it's just a little thing. It's not a big thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I will say, just for those who are keeping track, I do understand that I have not mentioned a lot about harvesting. I understand that's a key play somewhere in this series. I just have nothing to do with it nowhere to go with it at the moment. So,
It's very icky.
yeah.
We got to deal with the blood and the crystal, and then
The
seeing the
spirit
person you
entering your
murdered
head.
all the time. Like, I don't want that.
I just
So,
like that she could haunt both Rachel and Alex. That's fun.
Yeah. Shireen is curious. I'm excited. We never get explicitly what her power set is.
she was fire.
So that
Yeah.
she was fire? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think there's a little bit.
Yeah,
just
it-
mentioned.
it
Oh yeah. In
very
the
quickly.
memories, she shows
Yeah, and
there's a little
that's
fireball.
and
Just-
that's
okay.
why Rachel can do the whole dust evaporation thing with her.
Disintegration thing.
Yeah, right.
Okay, that's making more sense. I missed that
That's-
part, and I was just like,
yeah.
"How the hell is this water based?
Yeah.
Like, what is happening?"
I always assumed it was
Yeah.
like erosion type thing, but I guess it
Yeah.
makes some sense.
Yeah, it's how
I
her
didn't think about that.
fire and water power are interacting, because it talks
Okay.
about green sparkles flying from her
Okay,
and turning people into
So.
dust.
that makes so much more sense. Thank you for clearing that up, because I was
Oh,
like,
That's
okay,
something I didn't really realize
Yeah.
either.
Rachel's water based. She's just disintegrating people. I have no idea how the things go together.
Well,
but
you know how the
it's
water,
fine.
you know how water levels and power levels go. Fire, bigger fire; earth, bigger earth; water, disintegration. Like, it just totally makes sense.
I'm thinking like a water jet, just slicing
Yeah.
through stone and stuff like that. That was how I.
Yeah,
But,
I mean,
yeah.
I thought it was something to that effect. Like, she's just putting so much pressure. But cool. Okay.
Oh,
Well,
more thing. I love that. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on her name now. The keeper takes
Caldera.
Caldera takes Alex out for a beer, and he's never had porter before.
yeah,
It's like,
that's a life lesson.
Which, by the way, porter is the first beer I ever tasted. I'm like, oh, I like beer.
Oh, that's. I
So
mean,
I
that makes
really
sense.
identified.
Yeah.
I feel
Jingles,
represented.
do you want more Caldera or less Caldera?
I want more Caldera. I'm very.
Wow.
Listen, there's not many light council mages that I like, so when they actually show up, I'm like grasping. You're like, I really
have
want you to
Thoughts
be.
I want to
Yeah.
say, but my thoughts might spoil
They're
certain
spoilery.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. My thoughts are all spoilery. I'm sorry, I can't tell you what.
That's
I think.
okay. I understand. As of right now, Caldera. I mean, her commitment to the Light Council is going to be very problematic. It's already problematic with Saunders.
Oh, that was one thing we didn't talk about. Her little thing about the law.
Yeah.
And it's like I stand for law. I don't make the law though. I just uphold it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna do what I'm told to do, and enforce how I'm told to enforce. Which, yeah, that's rough. I mean, I get it, but yeah.
Goes back.
We
to
have been
the,
very wandering.
just following orders
Right.
that lead.
Yeah.
I was
Yep.
just following orders. Yeah, but without you, the orders don't do much, right? Like,
Yeah.
so
Well,
That's
in
kind of
fairness,
why I have the bullet point thing, so we can maybe follow an order, but it doesn't matter too much.
can't follow bullet points. We're not cool enough for that.
I didn't say we have to
stuff,
follow
like
them. It's
you.
just like we could follow down if we wanted to have like a more
You're
going
good.
with
I'm
the
just-
story things.
I am-
Yeah,
I'm
know,
too
I know.
crazy for that kind of
we
thing. I'm
are
sorry.
we
We stayed
are
thematically on target,
Yeah.
kind of.
we are the product of a tangity podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I
Also
will
true.
say is next time, can we do the funny stuff first and the serious stuff?
Oh,
last?
sure.
We can.
If we win
sure.
We
in
can.
order, the funny stuff was all at the beginning. I'm just saying.
That's true. It becomes pretty dark pretty quick.
It's
But
it is a very dark book in a lot of ways, but also has levity
it does.
in places.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, we get an ED discussion. I mean, you don't
In
get
the
that
middle of
every
a
book.
fight, no less. Yeah.
And his house gets blown up. We didn't even mention the fact that
We
his
did
house-
not even mention that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. These books, on every single book, has been so packed with so much stuff. I am just like, I don't even know where to begin sometimes. Like, even in the summaries, I'm just like, we gotta hit
Getting
very
this-
base points. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he
dear.
lost his house though. Kind of.
Well, he has it back at the
Well,
end.
yeah,
Yeah.
he lost his little apartment on the side of his. Cause he still got the shop. The shop's completely fine. It's just his apartment area
His
that got
flat,
blown
yeah.
down. Yeah, flat.
Okay, we really
Yeah,
probably should
jeez,
wrap this
Alex.
up.
Jeez, just
Yeah.
quit having people in your apartment when people try to blow it up already, okay?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, what a jerk keeping people around that we don't know about. So when we try to murder you, it's bad. What a jerk.
Also, just a sign of how wild their Night Stalker's also a terrible name. Silliest
Also
fucking name ever.
terrible.
Well, the book even makes fun of it. They make
Yeah.
fun. Alex is like, they're called what?
Yeah, you heard him. Night Stalkers.
But I mean, you got
Um,
it's something a 20-year-old would come up with. Let's
It
face it.
is. And blowing up an apartment, also something that someone would not really. I guess Lee did check to make sure people weren't in the flats around, but still.
But as
That's
Anne
why-
said, she moved.
Yeah.
That was so weird. Like that whole he's like, I was only gonna blow up Alex. I wasn't gonna blow up everybody.
As if that
They're
makes
all
it
in the
better
apartment
and
together.
Better. Yeah, dude. Okay. I think we got enough. We've been talking an hour. We made it.
An hour solid too.
Yeah.
That was like-
There's like barely any break in there, folks. The editing of this is going to be interesting.
Oh yeah. And
So-
we talked over each other a lot. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
apologies.
I make
Bad
no
habit of mine.
apologies. Sorry, I'm sorry.
All right. Do we want to plug some things?
Sure.
Chesky, Red?
Yes, I'm Chesky. I host the Libromancy podcast. I've covered all of the Alex Verus books on my podcast. I'm going to start posting some more, but there's a lot of good episodes that I've already recorded on. So enjoy.
I have a podcast called Wordless. I've got 2 in the can that I need to edit, and a final one to record, which will put us on a hiatus until I can find consistent co-hosts because my dear partner is retiring, and I'm very sad about it. I'm really sad about it, guys. I'm very,
Yeah.
very upset.
It's okay.
You could get an AI to be your
Oh, gosh.
co-host.
Oh,
What could possibly go wrong? That'd be a real interesting spin on a podcast, right?
actually, there's a guy I know, or I don't know him personally, but who does a podcast where he asks weird questions from Chat GTP or whatever it's called. Like that's the
GPT, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a podcast.
Yeah,
I can
it's
see
not-
that.
He has other things he does, but that's one of the things he does. He's like, now we're gonna talk
Don't
about.
rely on ChatGPT for math. Or any of those.
He's like, let's talk about some weird random topic. What I can't close out the
I
podcast
mean-
and I'll say it.
All right. Well, this has been great. Thank you, everybody. This has been the Green Team of the Legendarium's discussion of Chosen by Benedict Jaka. Please join us on the Legendarium Discord server to continue the discussion of morals and ethics. And thanks to Craig and the Legendarium and Horizon Brave for starting the Green Team. Intro and outro music is Galactic Damages by Jingle Punks. For Chesky, Texasblade, and Little Red Book, I'm Jingles. Until next time, thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, I want to smell the baby.